10. Her goals this morning are to connect with you, the audience. She wants to use emotions and stories to appeal to your innermost desires, to inspire you to leap tall buildings in a single bound. Her speech is 8 to 10 minutes and is entitled, What, Why, How? Please welcome Annette.
Just gonna take a little nap first. Your brain is barely awake when the alarm goes off, and already the voices are in your head. Oh, it's early. Do I really have to get up? Oh, I think I could just sleep. I could skip this today. I don't really need to go, do I? Do they really need me? Turn back over, and then go right back to sleep. But no, you didn't go back to sleep. You guys are here. Why? Why are you here this morning at 7 a.m. and every Tuesday morning so early? That was what I've been asking myself. And my job today is easy. My job today, my why for today, is to inspire you to ask, what is my why? And how will I honor my why in my time with Toastmasters? So I started thinking about this last weekend. I was at the division level contest for Toastmasters, and I was a judge this year. So I'm sitting in the basement of the Foothill Library. It's a little dark, it's a little cold, very familiar, because I realized sitting there waiting for the contest to start that just 6 months ago, I was sitting in the same place watching my very first Toastmasters competition. And at the time, I remember being so awed. I sat there, I had just finished my first icebreaker speech. Got a lot of comments back. And I watched these guys. They were so professional. They were so entertaining and polished. I can never do that. But that's okay. I don't have to compete. I don't have to compete. I just have to survive my Toastmasters journey. As I sat there, I realized it has been a journey. I sat there 6 months later preparing for my speech number 10, thinking, wow, what an honor. I was humbled and so grateful to Toastmasters for this opportunity to grow. I thought about the journey that I had been on. I went from, my icebreaker speech where I was floored to realize that I had spent the last 20 years perfecting my walls when I speak. But I had these great barriers and only let people see little slivers of me through the cracks. And that was an eye-opening experience. So I decided then, while I was sitting at my Toastmaster, or sitting at the competition in October, that my Toastmasters journey, my why for this season was going to be to connect. The reason I was there was to connect. And so then my second speech, some of you may remember, my goal that I shared with you, a little bit bigger sliver than last time, was that my goal was to be not polished, but present. That I wanted to learn to connect, to share, to be vulnerable with the audience. So over the next 7.5 speeches, I worked on that. And not one of them was perfect. Most of them weren't polished. But I did feel like I was able to connect a little more each time, share a little more of me with you, with each of my progressive speeches. You may remember that I shared that I wanted to be a TED speaker, that I wanted to professionally support myself as a speaker someday, that I shared my 15 seconds of fame when I was at Sundance. There were desires to be vegan. I wondered whether I should do that or not. There were stories about me being the big sister, big bully, that some of you heard at Red Rock. And I realized through that progression that the chance to share with you is an honor and a privilege, and I really appreciate the time that you give me to do that. So I was thinking there at my Toastmasters area or divisional speech, and I'm thinking, what's my why going to be for next year? What else can I get out of Toastmasters? And it occurred to me, when the speaker started speaking, I was just as impressed, but this time, rather than being awed and intimidated, I was inspired. I listened to them and thought, I could do that. I could do that! And if I did that, I could take my speaking to the next level. I could raise my own personal bar. So, I share with you today, that is my goal, that's my why for my second book in Toastmasters and my second season. So, my understanding and my commitment to you is that I will do that. And my desire today is to inspire each and every one of you to step up, raise your bar, and join me in representing Toastmasters at the district level for the next competition. Great, no way, not me. Not going to happen. You know why? Because that's my why. I want you to think about what's your why. And my favorite thing about Toastmasters, besides getting up early with you guys, is that there are so many whys. There are as many whys as there are speakers. So if you can take a minute and think about the why that you want to infuse into your next Toastmasters experience. One of the other judges I met at the competition, her name was Pam, and I was asking her about her Toastmasters experience. And she said that her why this year was all about leadership. It wasn't about speaking at all. She was really focusing on building her leadership skills through the Confident Communicator and in taking a role. She had stepped up for an officer role for the first time. Others have very different reasons. I know Tess was using Toastmasters and building her professional speaking opportunities. And Stacy, we've seen Stacy use our forum to improve and enhance her stand-up and her book opportunities. And we have, I know Bill has talked about speaking professionally. Jamie is stepping up and speaking professionally. We had Marielle that was speaking about, or practicing in this forum, her speeches to investors. So there are any number of reasons, any number of whys that you can bring to your Toastmasters experience. So I challenge you today, as you write your membership check for the next year, and dutifully hand it over to Sherry, to think about why you're here, what it is you want to get out of this experience. And while you're at it, who in this room can help you? There are mentors and people that have been here and have their own experiences, their own whys that they are getting out of Toastmasters, and maybe they can help inspire you to come up with these goals to raise your own bar. So before you jump into your next book, before you jump into your next speech, think about what's your why, and how are you going to honor it? Thank you.